I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. Monday, May 20th, 2019. Mr. Calavita, may I have a roll call?
Mr. DiDonato? Present. Ms. Linthorst?
Here.
Ms. Long? Markulek?
Here.
Ms. Murray?
Here.
Ms. O'Reilly?
Here.
Ms. Pollara?
Here.
Mr. Sawicki?
Here.
Ms. Tracy?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Hopewell Valley Regional Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof communicated to the Hopewell Valley News, the Times, and the Trentonian on January 8th, 2019. This meeting notice was also sent to Comcast Cable and Verizon Fios. The Board reserves the right to enter into executive session during all meetings of the Board of Education. The meeting is being videotaped for the purpose of board review, future reference, preparation of the minutes, and viewing on Comcast Channel 19, Verizon Fios Channel 32, and the school district website, www.hvrsd.org. May we all rise for the flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes for our special meeting, May 20th?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Motion carries. I would like to turn this over to Dr. Smith for our first presentation of the evening, our Echo Warrior student recognition.
Excellent. I'm going to head over to the podium in a second, but I would first like to recognize Lisa Wolf from Phobos here is going to run through a little bit of Phobos and what they do to get us to this point in supporting our students. But first, I'd like to say tonight we recognize Echo Warriors. That's a term we came up last year recognizing students who embody our environmental mission in our district. And this year we kind of combined it with part of our e-learning, and students were asked to pledge things they wanted to do to be better environmentalists and reduce their carbon footprint, and also nominate a student in their school who embodies the spirit of an Echo Warrior. What is an Echo Warrior, you ask? That's somebody who, it could either be running a club or an activity, or it could be making sure that the friends at their lunch table recycle, reduce and reuse, maybe in discussions with their teachers. One of the neat things that came out of this year's group is I had a conversation with a parent whose child felt that all of her friends do something really well and didn't feel comfortable with I won't put her on the spot, didn't feel comfortable with her receiving the award. And I think that's even more important than just the Echo Warriors, that kids really are taking the initiative of making this world a better place, helping our district reduce our carbon footprint, because one of our mantras in our district is every little bit helps. So we talked about reducing straws, we're going after bottled water. Moving forward and looking to, as we go through next year, really looking to reuse. It's no secret, if you're familiar with what's happening in the recycling world, that recycling isn't going as it hoped or planned as a country. Our real goal now is to reuse everything we possibly can. We're proud to say that we have over 50 bottle filling stations in our schools, so that's helping our students also make sure that they are reducing their carbon footprint. But these students that you're going to meet this evening have embodied our district mantra and have been recognized by their peers and by their teachers as their Echo Warriors for their individual schools. So we have folks from the elementary level all the way up to the high school level who are going to be recognized tonight, one from each school. And Lisa, are you going to do a presentation? How do you want to work it? Okay, so before I'm going to hold you in suspense. Before we bring up the Echo Warriors, we're going to learn a little bit about Phobos and what they've done with the district to help us reduce our carbon footprint and ultimately make a better world for our students.
So I'm not going to talk a lot about Phobos, but what I am going to talk about is some of the cool stuff that we have done just in the last month with the district. So we have a long history with the school district, and we have had a lot of different environmental activities in place. And this that I'm showing you right now is just what we've done in the last month. So first slide. This is today. Today, the AP Environmental Science class and the S group came out to the Thompson Preserve, and they helped with our restoration. They planted trees. They worked pretty hard all day, and this is the type of group that we had out, and I thought it was pretty cool. Mr. Colavita got this slideshow about 2 minutes ago, because I literally just got that slide. Next. Tollgate Grammar School. 2 days ago, I was out with Principal Jane Ellen Lennon, and we went and we collected a grant from Pennington Mayor Joe Lover for a new rain garden that is going in at Tollgate Grammar. Next. Mr. Colavita? Okay, there we go. Bear Tavern Elementary, we unveiled the sign for Earth Day, and I quickly flipped around and got a picture of the kids. That is actually a reduced version. It's just what I could get to fit on the screen. You'll notice there Principal Chris Turnbull's there with me, Deputy Mayor Mike Ruger, and on the right-hand side is Patricia Watts. That was our funder for the project, which was Janssen Pharmaceuticals. Next. We also unveiled our sign at Stony Brook Elementary. I have a really cool picture that I did not put up there. It's a panoramic view. It was huge. It was so crazy how many students, they just kept coming and coming and coming. But that gives you a slight idea when you see Principal Wilfing giving the presentation. That big blue tablecloth over it was hiding the unveiling. And then we unveiled the sign. And the people in that picture are Pete Sanford on the left. He is the vice president of the Brandon Farms Homeowners Association. Mayor Krista McLaughlin, me, Principal Steve Wilfing, and the benefactor who funded the project was Vanessa Sandham. Next. On Earth Day at Hopewell Elementary, Sauerland Conservancy and Mercer County Park went to the Hopewell Borough Park, and 400 students planted 400 native wildflowers, and that was led by the Hopewell Elementary STEM facilitator and Phobos board trustee, Helen Corvaline. And next, Dr. Smith, can you help us present the Eco Warrior Awards?
Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Actually, before you do, I have a favor to ask. So, over the weekend, I mentioned that I collected an award with Jane Ellen Lennon, but also a bunch of people came by our booth and drew beautiful leaves. And we told them that they would have a drawing, and we would pick one leaf for the drawing, and I'm going to ask Dr. Smith to pick a leaf from here.
So much pressure. There we go.
And the winner is Megan Hart. Hartel. So we will be calling Megan Hartel, and this was her leaf. And you guys saw that it was completely objective on how it was picked. I didn't pick any favorites. And a little interesting trivia. The winner, Megan Hartel, is going to win a tribute, and not this t-shirt, but also a t-shirt. So what we are giving all of the Eco Warriors, Megan Hartel will be getting the same thing. Actually, one quick more plug. The gift that we're giving everybody is a tribute. We're planting a tree in their name. If the board members peek at their newsletters, the very inside back page lists what the tributes are. And basically what this is we actually plant a tree or wildflowers in a local preserve, and that will be done for our Eco Warriors. A cool piece of trivia for you is that the preserve it will be planted in will have a deer exclosure. The reason for that is because if we plant a tree or flowers and we don't have one, the deer will eat it and it won't live. So the deer exclosure will make sure that we have a good chance for our tree or our flowers to be planted. And in the case of our Eco Warriors, it will be a tree. Thank you for letting me. Okay. Did I do that fast enough?
Yep, we're good. Alrighty, from the Bear Tavern School.
Come on. Oh, wait. I also wanted to introduce Roxanne
Okay.
Klatt. Sorry. This was the funder, Hopewell Harvest Fair, who funded the actual activity. So Hopewell Harvest Fair paid for all of the plantings and all of the T-shirts, and we thank them for supporting the Eco Warrior.
All right.
Okay.
So you will receive, Lisa, a T-shirt, a certificate, and, as Lisa already mentioned, a tree planted in your honor. So from the Bear Tavern School, Laya DiGessa. That's it.
Gotta figure out how to get this.
We're going in alphabetical order. So from Central High School, Ashley Truesdale. Congratulations, thank you. From Hopewell Elementary, Kat Lee Spencer. Congratulations. From Stony Brook, James Damron. James. Congratulations. From Timberlane Middle School, Phoebe Gunn. And from the Tollgate School, Miranda Luther.
And I want to get everyone outside for a
All right. Echo Warriors, if you could run outside, we're going to take a quick photo by the seal. And for those of you remaining, what were you doing in elementary school? Look at these kids. Changing the world in elementary school. That's awesome. And Ashley at the high school, sorry.
I don't know what it is.
I know, I'm like. Oh. So is there something I could do?
I just gave you a joke.
Is it
Oh, yeah, maybe that's it.
somebody gave it? I don't think what it is. Something else.
Adam, say something.
Something.
Adam?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, we wanted to
Yes,
make sure
I'm
we
on.
could
I'm
still
sorry, I
hear
didn't
you.
hear.
We're trying to avoid feedback. I wanted to make sure we could still hear you.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's better.
Sorry, I've been putting it on mute, so. It's on my end.
No, it's probably not. Just, it was giving feedback. I was trying to play with it. Okay, shall I carry on?
Yep.
Okay. Next, we'd like to yield the floor to Shibani for her report.
Okay, so first off, we are going to talk about the past events. So on May 18th, students for French, Spanish, German, and Latin were inducted into the World National Language Honor Society. And then Haley A.B., Kelly Kane, Sarah Magion, and other members of Bulldogs Bite Back raised $19,600 in 7 weeks for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Student
Wow.
of the Year campaign.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then FBLA and NHS members raised $819.10 for March of Dimes and walked in the March for Babies at Mercer County Park. And then Annetta Semensky won $1,000 and first place in the Hopewell Valley Chorus Scholarship Competition, and she was featured in the spring concert at St. James Church on May 10th. The junior prom was held May 3rd, and the Sunshine Foundation helped provide an amazing experience for an HB student through Operation Dreamlift, and this was a one-day excursion to Disney where the participants were sent off by local law enforcement and first responders. The CHS Unified Track Team received a great send-off on Monday, May 13th to represent New Jersey at the Special Olympics Invitational Youth Games in Toronto, Canada. And this past weekend, CHS and Global Connections welcomed Kenyan Ambassador Gite for a thoughtful and informative day of educational diplomacy. Moving on to sports, boys lacrosse held a tribute to first responders game, honoring the first aid, police department, fire departments, and many more local heroes. Sean Dolan set a new HB track school record for his win at the Homedale Night of 3200s. And on May 18th, boys lacrosse had a great win versus Wall to advance to Group 2 South semifinals. HB baseball had a win 6-1 against Allentown, and boys volleyball won their play-in game today, advancing to their first round of states against St. Joe's tomorrow. Also today, boys tennis had their state finals game today, with doubles partners Liam Dunn and Dhruv Kapadia getting a win against Lawrence. And for the Special Olympics at Toronto, Mia Vaughn, Stephen Hu, Delaney O'Connell, Robert Wilson, Sam and Gavin Fowler all took home many successes, including first, second, third, and fourth in their individual events. And then for upcoming events, speaker Eric LeGrand will present at the high school's Diversity Day, focusing on adversity, and this will be May 31st. And then the Traumatic Loss Coalition Assembly will be held for high school students on May 29. The senior athletic banquet will be June 6th at the Hamilton Manor, and the senior prom will be June 7th at the Spring Mill Manor. Academic Awards Night will be June 13th, and Seniors Award Night will be June 17th, and the 8th grade transition day will be June 10th, and then finally there will be a senior trip to Ocean City on June 12th. So that's about it.
And that concludes your final report to us for the year. You've been amazing, the most comprehensive reports I've ever experienced, and we can't thank you enough for all you've done for us this year. And where are you going again next year?
Rutgers next year.
Rutgers. And what will you study?
I'll be studying pharmacy.
Wow, very impressive.
Did you reach out to... Reach out to Miss Hong. I spoke to her about it, because her sister went to the Rutgers Pharmacy.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. Alrighty, so, Shivani, we have a small token of appreciation for your work on the school board. I'm going to present this to you now. You're like a pro. All right. Very good. And I just, if you want to shake everyone's hand.
Thank you. Congratulations.
You're welcome to stay for the entire meeting. I mean, it's your last meeting.
Is it your last?
Since you didn't come to the last one, you can come to this one.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Thanks so much.
So for my report to the community. I'm really excited to announce that the Board of Education and the Hopewell Valley Education Association have reached an agreement on terms of a new contract. The memorandum of agreement is on our agenda tonight for board approval, as it was ratified by the HVEA on Friday. The contract will run for 3 years, retroactive to July 1st of 2018, and expire on June 30th, 2021. More details of the settlement will be available later this week in a joint press release from the board and the HVEA. I would like to sincerely thank our Board of Education Negotiations Committee, which was headed up by our chair, Michael Markolek, and Sarah Tracy, Debbie Linthorst, as well as our district administration for their efforts in the negotiations process. As I've stated in the past, the board is committed to continuing to communicate on a frequent basis with the HVEA leading up to the next negotiations. I just cannot thank everyone, the community, the HVEA, our teachers, staff, and our administration enough. Okay, Mr. Smith?
Alrighty, thank you very much. I have no formal presentation, but before we recognize our retirees, I would just like to say that I don't want to end the year on a sour note, but it's been a very difficult year, I think, for our school district. We were faced with a number of issues, but what made it special was, I think, the professionalism of our teachers, the constant support of our parents. Over the last month, I've heard from so many parents in support of the district and what we're trying to do and what we are doing. I just want to sincerely thank all of them. And also the students coming out and supporting our efforts and just really making sure that they want Hopewell Valley to be known as an excellent school district and providing some feedback to us on how we can get better. So we just learned from our Echo Warriors, students on the elementary level going out and telling their friends, their colleagues, their classmates, to make sure that they recycle, to make sure that they reduce and reuse. To our high school students, really coming together and trying to make the high school a better place. We really have something special here, and I thank all those folks who recognize that. And I'd really like to thank the board for their continued support of our programming, of our students, and our community, because the schools are the one thing that truly bind this community together. Something we take great responsibility in, something that we're proud of, and I think after this most recent year, it really is going to show that how powerful and how important our schools are to making our community a better place and to turning out students like Shabani, not to put her on the spot, but also our Echo Warrior students from as young as in 2nd grade, trying to make the world a better place. And it's not how much you do, it's how often you do something. So repeatedly being kind to each other, kind to the environment is what we're trying to build here. As I transition into recognizing our retirees, you folks have helped build this district. I look at Mrs. DiGaetano, who is really with our youngest kids who come into our district at 3 years old, and she has taken those students and raised them as her own. And it's really something special, and all of you will be a big loss to our district. And Leslie, with all of your work, not only supporting our staff, but supporting our students, and you've done some really neat things that made a difference in the lives of kids. And I could speak about everybody in the room, but I just want to say thank you, because this district is better because you are here, and we could not have done all of this work without you. And so when the going gets tough, you really recognize who's important and who's making a difference in the lives of our students. And I think all of you can walk out of this district at the end of the year and know that you've made a tremendous impact, not only on this district, but on the lives of students. And that's something that can never be taken away. But having been and seen all of you at work, I thank you personally for everything you've done, because Hopewell is a great place because of you. So thank you. So now we're going to embarrass you. Mr. Suzo is I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Suzo. He's going to talk about how many years you've worked collectively together. But, those of you who may or may not know that I was a special educator in my previous career, and always trying to take care of those kids who need to be taken care of the most is always special to me. And I see Heidi trying to hide, but the impact that I think Heidi's classroom was probably one of the first classrooms I was in when I came into the district, and her with their hundreds of stuffed moose, or is it moose or mooses? Mooses. Sorry, in Florida. Or hundreds of moose in her classroom, really special. So,
thank you, Dr. Smith. So we're looking at, and they're not all here this evening, we had a few folks that couldn't attend, but close to 350 years of experience that obviously you were recognizing this evening. So it truly is an honor and a privilege to present to the Board of Education for recognition our 2018-2019 class of retirees. Each retiree has demonstrated excellence and incredible work ethic, dedication, and professionalism during their career in our district. They have done an incredible job supporting and servicing students, staff, parents, and our community. Each of our retirees will be receiving a certificate of appreciation for their service that reads the following: for dedicating your life to the art and science of teaching, for practicing your profession with compassion and dignity, and for holding the well-being of your students as your primary concern always. Congratulations on your retirement from the Hopewell Valley Regional School District. When I call your name, please come forward and be congratulated by each of our board members and also receive your certificate. As I mentioned, we have a few folks that couldn't be here this evening, but I felt it necessary to also recognize them as well. First, from Bear Tavern, she couldn't be here this morning or this evening, but I wanted to recognize her, 5th grade teacher, Maureen Farina. Little round of applause. From Hopewell Elementary, special education teacher, Heidi Olson.
He was a student teacher in my building, I remember well.
From Hopewell Elementary, special education teacher, Lori DiGaetano. Paraprofessional from Hopewell Elementary, Kathleen LaPlante. From Central High School, wellness teacher, Daphne Schaub.
Congratulations. Thank you. Enjoy the
Wait a second, you guys are related?
From Stony Brook Elementary School, she couldn't be here this evening, but we'd like to recognize art teacher Kathleen Belton. Also from Stony Brook, basic skills and advanced level math teacher Leslie Geller.
Congratulations.
Stony Brook Elementary classroom teacher Lorinda Swenson couldn't be here this evening. Timberlane Middle School wellness teacher Carl Weidman. Tollgate Grammar media specialist Christine Morgan. Special education teacher from Tollgate Grammar, Natalie Shatinsky.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Next, wellness teacher actually from Tollgate who retired late last summer, so we missed her last May, Linda Gardner, who could not be here this evening. From our facilities department, our custodial supervisor, Bob Drummond.
Leave your golf clubs in the hallway?
Thank you. Congratulations.
And then two other individuals who could not be here, but I'd like to recognize from our facilities department, Neville Swaby. And from our transportation department, van attendant, Lillian Snook. And then finally, to all of our retirees, the administration and the Board of Education, thank you for your service to the district. Go forward and enjoy the next phase of your life. While doing so, reflect back on the many lives you positively impacted during your time working in Hopewell Valley. Thank you again.
Thank you again, friends, family, and community, for coming out and celebrating our district and the wonderful people who made it happen.
Please take a cookie on your way out. Calories don't count tonight.
I don't know if Ms. Schwab's going to agree to that.
That's- I think he's waiting for public comment.
Excellent.
Come on up. We want to hear from you.
He was racing up and down the hallway before. He's ready for the track team. Nobody got him a cocktail before. Sure.
He hasn't sipped your water bottle.
I know.
Comment?
Okay.
Elisa's here.
Members of the public are invited to address the board on any matter for a maximum of 3 minutes during this portion of the meeting. You are asked to state your name, address, and municipality. In response to your comments, the Board of Education may respond or direct the superintendent to do so. The board may also opt to take the matter up at a future meeting, so the matter is researched by district administration. Public comment is now open.
Okay. Hi, Elise McCoy. I live on Dublin Road. I guess the question... Okay, my neighbors put me up to this. I said, please go. I guess the burning question they want to know, now that the teacher contracts are finalized, is the increase going to go up any more than it's already proposed? Or you can't answer that?
Well, we'll answer you, but do you want to ask everything, or is that the only question?
That's
you
the
want?
only question. That's the burning question.
Okay. Would you like me to?
Well, I can answer
wanna
whatever you
answer
want.
right
Sure.
In case you have another question.
So the board approved the budget, and that is inclusive of everything.
Okay.
So there will be no additional increases in expenditures
Okay.
moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Michael, go ahead.
I will say, finance and facilities continues to look for where we can save money as well. So we're working on programs, insurance, things maybe where we can save some money as well. So the work hasn't stopped.
Thank you very much for your question and for coming out. Okay. Public comment is now closed, and we will move on. Any item of old business we need to bring up? Anyone? Okay. Whoops. Consent agenda. Do we want to remove anything from the consent agenda? Maybe we have a motion, please?
So move.
Thank you. Anyone? We're going to leave it there? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained? Motion carries. Finance and Facilities, Mr. DiDonato.
So everything is on consent from finance and facilities perspective. Tonight we did meet, and we talked about some of the elements of the referendum kind of moving forward. We had a couple change orders actually in the amount of totaling about $27,000. These are credits that are due back to us for service. Some of the projects that had closed out, HVAC upgrades, we got about $8,400, and then the partial roof replacement through Strober Wright roofing, which is about $19,300. We renewed our waste disposal and recycling contract. We had an increase of about $16,000 from last year. I mean, this is the unfortunate part about what's going on in the state with recycling. I mean, just cost and how to dispose of the stuff, etc. So we had just some other general stuff for transfers and project bills list, etc. Outside of that, it's a presentation, and I think getting ready to put this budget through. Looking forward to future discussions. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. DiDonato. Ed Program.
Everything is on the consent agenda, but we had a tremendous meeting today at the activity. So this fall we approved an AP Spanish class that had a survey component, and so the class came to present, and these young women, and then divided themselves up into two groups. They had was raising money to provide school supplies for an organization in Honduras. And both groups had to do a public service announcement in Spanish, a video that was shown throughout the school. They were so articulate and so passionate, and were able to like connect the dots about what this means for their future endeavors. It was tremendous. So kudos to Ms. Mora, the teacher who brought this in, and to the students. We have asked that they come to a school board meeting, or at least that everyone gets to see the public service announcements, because it was really tremendous. So there was that. And then Dr. Rich from Rowan University, who has been working with the district around the diversity and inclusion issues, and she and Dr. Smith facilitated that Saturday community conversation in March, was that?
February.
And so Dr. Rich came to update us on preliminary, like there's much work to be done, but she's done focus groups in the middle school and in the high school, and she'll be doing them in the elementary school. And it's just, and she really commended our district for doing the hard work and having the hard conversations. And so I look forward to learning more of what her findings. She still has to do the school audits of going through and sort of seeing what is hanging on our walls, and what's, the signage and how inclusive that is. But for sure there is work to be done, but she really commended us for the focus that the district is making on this, and really it's not just talk, it's actually doing the hard work. And I think that my sense was that the students were highly engaged in these conversations that she was having with them, and I think that's tremendous. And then Principal Gianfredi came from Timberlane to talk all about the social and emotional learning that they've been doing at the school this year, which is also, her goals this year were to really make this part of the culture. And so she walked us through every month what they had been doing, all the different kinds of activities, and then the plans for next year and beyond to really have the teachers and the students focused on the social and emotional learning. So her two goals for this year were to make it part of the culture and to really build stronger connections between staff and students. And she feels that they really have, and she has a great plan for moving forward. And then we continued our discussions around class sizes at the high school with Trish came to talk with us about that. And again, just as finance and facilities continuing to look at how to save money and how to keep the goals and mission true of the district, but still be budget conscious. At committee, we're doing the same. It was a long and great meeting. There's
a lot of substance
yeah.
on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Longer than usual, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it was tremendous. Because even if you could all just see the public service announcements that they did explaining their projects, they've raised hundreds and hundreds of dollars for these organizations. But it really, my takeaway was just how empowered they felt by really creating these projects and like starting from a blank piece of paper and creating the whole action plan.
I think that was really quite insightful, even taking it outside of that particular
Correct.
class, because consistently the students were commenting on, wow, this is the first time. It would take a lot of
Not having-
classes, but this was the first time that they felt that they were in an unrestricted certain extent, where they could get together, they could collaborate, they could kind of figure out, come to, sort of a common place, a common approach, and just sort of have freedom. And they really did an amazing job with it, and it's just kind of something to think about as we did a program sometime in the school, and is there any room to increase things like that, because it did, like they were saying, it caused them to
Oh, you're off.
Yep.
You're off.
The red button on?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Just bring it a little closer to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. It felt, today's meeting felt very thematic, like everything that was discussed and presented was really touching on the different ways of learning and the social emotional and the cultural diversity. Like it all seemed to be,
Relationship,
yes,
collaboration,
exactly, flowing
those
together.
types of things, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
That's good.
Great. Any questions? Then? Okay. So next up is personnel.
Nothing's on consent.
Work it, girl.
Okay, so, tonight.
You can move every day.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Just a couple of things just to mention, and the board will get more information probably for our upcoming June meeting, but we did start to discuss the start of the negotiations for a couple of other contracts that we have either are up for renewal or will be coming up, and that's for HVDSA and the HVESPA contracts. So we did kind of start our conversations regarding that, as well as discussing proposed salary changes for the non-affiliated employees, and reviewing the proposed per diem rates for 2019, 2020. Again, all this stuff will be on June's agenda, so everyone will get more details on that. And the other thing, and actually you'll see it on the agenda here, is we also discussed the comprehensive equity plan that the district is required to complete every 3 years and submit to the county. And again, that document should be on the agenda that you reviewed earlier. So that's all I have.
So did we need a motion and second? Yeah.
Okay, I need a motion to move.
No move.
Second.
Are we going to roll call everything at once? Okay, so including the memorandum of agreement and the personnel actions, appointing the affirmative action officer, comprehensive equity plan, and the school board representative for Hopewell Public Library. So, may we have a roll call, please?
Mr. DiDonato?
Yes.
Ms. Linthorst?
Yes.
Ms. Long? Mr. Markulek?
Yes.
Ms. O'Reilly?
Yes.
Ms. Polara?
Yes.
Mr. Sawicki?
Yes.
Ms. Tracy?
Yes.
And Ms. Murray?
Yeah.
Am I not allowed to vote on the MOA? I have to
Yeah,
abstain?
Yeah.
So separated.
Yep.
Even though it's just an approval?
No, she can approve the contract.
Yeah, I think you
can.
can approve the contract, yeah.
Okay.
Once it's there, you can approve.
Yeah, I think so.
You just can't know what's in it.
Ever.
Yeah.
I've done my homework.
No, that's right. No, she can
Okay.
vote on the approved.
All those hours. Thank you.
And you.
No, of course, yes.
She
Aye.
carries.
Yay. Where are my pom-poms? Community relations?
We will on Wednesday.
Oh, wait, we're having a meeting Wednesday? I'm going to have to send you things because I won't be there.
What time is that meeting?
5:30?
5:30.
Yeah, it's Timberlane concert that
We're in semifinals of states.
Yeah, we can do that. We could change it up then. Yeah.
But I have a lot to give you. All right. Policy, Mr. Sawicki?
Okay. Yes, thank you. So can I have a motion to approve, to move the policy and regulation up for first reading, please?
So move.
Second.
Okay, great. So what we have for first reading is policy and regulation 5538, which cover our random testing for student alcohol and other drug use. So at our May policy meeting, few weeks ago, we had the administrators from Central High School come in and give Policy Committee a review of how things had gone in this first year of having these in place. And based upon that experience, they went ahead and gave us some recommendations. So that is what is reflected in these items up for approval at first reading. The policy is just a minor editorial. The key things are in the regulation, and I'd say in general there are three things that are covered. The first and the main changes that are in there tend to deal with the procedures under which the testing is conducted, and it comes from the standpoint of the policy. The regulation was originally written for there to be essentially within a district a test coordinator. We're having that primarily done through third party, so the regulation has been rewritten to reflect that to be the case. The other two items mainly reflect the fact that as we wrote the regulation, the intention was as students were coming up to sign up for activities they would be involved in, that's when they would have to go ahead and consent to the testing. What the administrators asked was whether we can have that be done for fall sports and activities, but otherwise have the other requests come in by September 30th, included within the back-to-school packet. That would make it a little bit more manageable. And just the other part is the administrators in that packet will identify all the activities that if the students choose to participate in, they will go ahead and outline what activities are included in that. So those are the main changes. I just want to thank Dr. Smith and other members of the policy committee for, we spent a good amount of time within the last week as some of the updates came in, so I appreciate everyone's work in doing that.
And thank you, Adam, in making Sunday afternoon changes and reviews. I appreciate it because
At the
again,
airport, yeah.
But again, I appreciate it because I think it's better because of all of your work.
That's a quick response.
Yes.
So, if there are any questions, otherwise, again, these are up for first reading.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained? Motion carries.
Okay. Great, thank you. If I can have a motion to move the policies and regulations up for second reading, please.
So moved.
Second.
Great. Okay, so these were up for first reading last month. It's policy and regulation 3160 for physical examination teaching staff members, and policy and regulation 4160 physical examination of staff. These basically deal with during hiring practices, basically some revisions to our practices leading into that, and there have been, to my knowledge, no changes since first reading. So basically going through as they were in first reading. So, questions? If not, we can do a roll call.
Roll call, please, Mr. Colavito.
Ms. Linthorst. Ms. Long. Mr. Markulek.
Yes.
Ms. O'Reilly.
Yes.
Ms. Polaro.
Yes.
Mr. Sawicki.
Yes.
Ms. Tracy.
Yes.
Mr. DiDonato.
Yes.
Ms. Murray.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, next up is board calendars. So let's get started.
Did we say we were canceling the 22nd, did I hear? For community relations?
Oh, what do you want to do? I can
Fine.
do. Think?
I, Do you need to change the time?
I have another meeting with Borough at 6, so I'll just be late for that one.
Want to do 5?
I can do 5.
Do we what?
I can do 5.
Oh, no, we need a motion. Can I have a motion and second for the calendars?
Hey, did you just
Second.
move that? It just disappeared. I was just going to move it. Did you? Okay.
Okay. Do we want to schedule policy?
Oh, right, yeah, we need to do policy.
What?
Perfect.
Yes, I have something to tell you. We're going to delete that now. I think I
decided against it.
I've decided against it. We'll talk later.
I have something to put up policy on it too.
Yes, Adam has brought that up. So, Adam, what's your thought on policy?
We could do virtual on a Friday, or we could do it again 8:30, maybe on the 3rd,
I thought we had decided.
leading into EdCom, whichever
Yeah.
people prefer.
Now, we had talked about the vaping policy at that one also, and possibly
Oh,
bringing
okay.
back the building leadership. Do we want to do that? What's wrong?
8
we-
o'clock, right?
Could we possibly do 8 o'clock and have the,
Yeah, on the 3rd, absolutely. That's fine.
right, no?
Ed program is at 9.
That program is at 9, yes.
Oh, we're not.
Oh,
It's on the calendar. We should take that out.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's on the counter. So do you want,
And policy.
you could push it back to 8:30 then and sleep in.
What is sleeping in?
I like sleep.
Yeah, exactly. 8 o'clock or, Adam, does it matter to you? 8 o'clock?
No.
There's no ed program on that morning, so
Yeah, from 8:30.
Oh.
for me.
8:30? Want to do 8:30 to 9:30 or till?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
8:30, and we'll bring back the CHS admin.
You can get rid of the 3rd.
The third's out. Graduation's 20th. That morning.
It's a whole bunch.
Good.
No makeup
Okay.
that day. No
All right.
makeup that day. I'll just be crying.
Anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Motion carries. Okay, just gonna put my dates here. Next up in new business, so we have 2 items in new business. The first being the recruitment of people who want to sit up here before us in the following year. So the deadline for filing a nomination petition to run for a position on our Board of Education is 4 p.m. on Monday, July 29th, 2019. This year, as of the following terms would be Hopewell Township, 2 3-year terms, and Hopewell Borough, we have 1 3-year term. The school board nomination petitions for the November election have to be returned to the Mercer County Clerk's office in Trenton, but they can pick them up here at our board office, correct? We'll have this ready? Okay.
July 29th.
July 29th.
Why not
Where
beat
do
the rush?
where do we pick up?
You can get them right from Bob's office.
They're also online, aren't they, Bob?
Yeah, they're online too.
Perfect. Oh, great. I would like that.
Wonderful. Okay. Any questions on that? And then the next item of business is our board self-evaluation. So we can begin that process at any time, although I will say we will do the primary goal is to get through the superintendent's evaluation first, and then our board self-evaluation. Plan to get it done by the first week of June, and we'll schedule a compiled gathering to talk about our everything that we've assessed on the superintendent, and we can also discuss our board self-evaluation, but it will be something that we will really address in the summer at one of our workshops together.
You want it done by the 9th.
No, I want it done by the first week of June, like June 1st, 2nd. So I don't know if you want to, so Monday, the 10th, we need to discuss it with you in executive session on the 17th?
Correct.
Okay. So sometime before the 17th, we need to get together to discuss it. Did you guys want to, I guess I should have done that during calendars, didn't think about it. Yeah, I know. But we can figure that out, see when everybody gets it done and what you want to do. I mean, the other option is to, just a couple of us can get together with the superintendent to discuss, or we can do it as a group. I suspected we would want to do it as a group, correct? Good. I like that plan. Okay. We will discuss the superintendent's evaluation process as part of our executive session tonight. Has everybody signed on to,
No.
at all? Did you get the email that he finished his?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Last year was the first year that they did the new process, and it was relatively smooth. There were a couple little hiccups along the way, so hopefully this year will be a little smoother. But I'm here to answer questions. Okay. Anything else for new business? Okay. Moving on. Members of the public are again invited to address the board on any matter for a maximum of 3 minutes during this portion of the meeting. You are asked to state your name, address, and municipality. In response to your comments, the Board of Education may respond or direct the superintendent to do so. The board may also opt to take the matter up at a future meeting so that the matter is researched by district administration. Public comment is now open. Okay, seeing none, public comment is now closed.
Shabani, you stayed for the whole thing.
Oh.
Oh, no, second.
Are you?
You are welcome to come in June.
That's it?
You can come.
Yeah, even next year. Yeah.
17th.
It's graduation week.
Before graduation.
Is there something on the 17th too? Besides the board meeting? Are there any what are they, the awards, like academic awards or?
Awards were like the
Yeah, Senior
13th.
Awards night is June 17th.
Yeah.
Which one is?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
This is it.
This is it. Thank you, Shabani.
Thank you.
Bye, Shabani.
Report. Leave my report.
Shabani.
Shabani, your report.
Leave the report.
Thanks.
Almost got to make us.
That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. The Board of Education will be going into an executive session. May I have a motion, please, to exit the meeting and go in?
So moved.
Oh, okay. Say why. We will be entering into executive session for a harassment, intimidation, and bullying matters, the superintendent's evaluation discussion, and the middle school vice principal position. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Motion carries.
All right, Adam.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Take care, Adam.
Good evening. Bye.
I'm not joining.